Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacciana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage RODAN Opal automatic petrol lighter. It has the image of a golfer on the front with some engraving. This lighter is in very good condition. It does show scuffs, dings, scratches, that kind of wear. It is high polish on the bottom and spines. The front and back are sort of a brush finish, and you can see sort of some waves in the way that case was formed or machined. An irregularity or something that looks to me like a male golfer finishing his swing. The base is marked Japan RODAN Opal, patent 12834 122139, and then the fill screw is marked fill here. It lights very well, it sparks very well. A lot better than I expected when I pulled it out of the package. I assumed that this lighter was going to have a clogged flint tube and set about making a video to show you how to fix it. Now, if I had only read a little bit further in the listing that I had bought the lighter in, I was so excited to see it and to win the lighter in the auction where I purchased it that I didn't take the time to read the full description, which would have told me that the lighter had been tested, had flint in it, and I had no need to make a repair video for this particular lighter. But you can see it is a very nice looking lighter. It's in very good condition. It will spark here and there and not light, but I'd say it's about 80% so far, and maybe at least a good deal of that other 20% could be attributed to vapor lock and the fact that I have just filled the lighter with fluid. This is the rare Japanese lighter that I seem to encounter that is not the knockoff of another lighter. At least to me, doesn't seem to be. I may be unaware of another lighter that this particular lighter is patterned or copied from, but I can't think of a more famous lighter. The mechanism sort of looks and reminds me of the mechanism on the Ronson Debonair, but this lighter doesn't look anything like the Debonair. I'm going to go ahead and pull this fuel screw out and show you what the wadding looks like in there. It was pretty tight when I unscrewed it and fueled it earlier, so that's why the screwdriver was necessary to start it loose. Now when I tightened it back down, I don't believe I tightened it back down far enough to need the screwdriver to get back into the fuel chamber. You can see there on the back there are some scuffs, scratches, as noted earlier. It is very clean though. The bottom plating is very mirror-like. The brush finish of the front and back are very clean. You can see there's a notch on the front side, and there's also a little notch on the back side spine that both remind me sort of how the Bentley butane actuating mechanism fits into that lighter. But this top mechanism does not lift up and out like that one does. I'm not sure why those indentions are there. Have to investigate a little further. You can see though that the mechanism is your typical Ronson type with your clutch and everything engaging on the right side of the mechanism. You can see there on the front and back those indentions that I was speaking of earlier. It's a very clean lighter. The wick looked good, I went ahead and pulled it up and snipped it off anyway once I realized that the lighter was used. I was hoping to gain a little bit of length on it so that we had a little bit more efficiency in lighting it, but it doesn't really seem to have a problem. As I said earlier, it seems to be about 80% or so. About 4 out of every 5 times that you strike it, it lights right up. See those scratches? It does have the crosshatch on the thumb lever with no name on it. And the nice clean bottom that is clearly marked. I really like this image of the golfer. It has the initials JW and then New York 1959. Makes me think of, if I know anybody with those initials, can't think of anyone right off bat, I can think of a famous person or two, John Wayne, but that wasn't really his name. Go ahead and pull the fuel screw or flint screw and flint spring out of here, and you can see our flint, which was just replaced in there. That was a brand new flint that I had put in it when I thought I was, actually it was put in there along with the small flint at one point when I mistakenly thought that it did not have a flint in it. So it was brand new. It has been struck a few times. The flint was brand new, not the lighter. As I said in the listing, the seller was clear that this lighter had been tested and did spark, but that it probably needed new flint, as he said, because it's old and they crumble. But you can see here a very nice piece of history. I don't know exactly who JW was and what took place, if this was a golf tournament in 1959 in New York. Trying to think, I don't even know if I can think of Bethpage Black. Is that in New York? I know that there have been several U.S. Opens take place in the state of New York. I don't know. That's some research that I could do, is what professional tournaments took place in New York in 1959. But this might not have been a professional tournament at all. This might have been a club tournament. This might have just been a memento between two people. Who knows? But it is a very nice working old relic that if you put it up on your shelf, it would display very nicely in anybody's collection, but especially someone who collects automatic Petrol lighters, maybe specifically Japanese automatic Petrol lighters. Maybe your initials are JW, or you were born in New York in 1959 and you love to play golf. Who knows? But anyway, around it, I'm glad to have this one in my collection for the time being, and we'll leave it around here and see how it goes. Until next time.